Can you help me?
Ma'am, you were in the exclusion line.
Yes.
Did they explain to you what that meant?
Yes.
They're sending you back.
No. I can work. You know this man. You talk to them.
You've already been processed. Their decision's been rendered. There's very little I can do.
Please.
That was a scene from The Immigrant starring Joaquin Phoenix. It is just one of this year's movies that was a hit with critics, but virtually ignored at the box office.
Matt Singer, managing editor and film critic for ScreenCrush.com, is here to shed some light on movies you may not have heard of, but should still try to see. Matt, good morning.
Good morning.
We're looking at The Immigrant there, which stars Joaquin Phoenix, as Vanita said, and Jeremy Renner. It got great reviews. Why did this film sort of disappear?
Well, you know, movies, like everything else in life, it's all about timing. The Immigrant did not have great timing. It opened on May 16th, up against a little movie called Godzilla. And I don't think it's unfair to say it kind of got trampled by Godzilla. But if you're the sort of person who says, you know, Hollywood doesn't make them like they used to, this is a movie for you. It really is a throwback to a kind of old school melodrama for adults. They don't make that much. And it has Marion Cotillard as the star. She's a Polish immigrant in 1920s New York City. She's sort of forced into a life of prostitution. And as you can see from the clips, it's a beautiful movie. The performances are amazing. I have to think if it was released like 6 weeks ago, instead of 6 months ago, this could have been, you know, a big Oscar contender.
Let's talk about Scarlett Johansson's movie. It was on many critics' best of the year list. The movie is called Under the Skin. Yeah,
that's another fantastic movie. That one is about an alien, that's Scarlett Johansson's character, who's sort of hunting men for a mysterious purpose in Scotland.
Oh, so is she actually sexy in this one? We never see that, right?
Yeah, yes, cast against type, and I think there's probably going to be a shot of her in her underwear at some point in this montage, so that'll distract people from whatever I'm saying. But it's a really interesting movie. All the guys she's finding in this movie are actually, they're not actors. They're real guys that the movie found in Scotland. And so it's all shot with hidden cameras. So it's a very interesting look at kind of human nature. It's sci-fi, it's horror, and it's almost like an instructional video for aliens, how to invade our planet.
Next, you chose a comedy drama called Frank. Tell us about that.
Frank is kind of interesting because that is a movie about a movie star. In this case, it's Michael Fassbender from all the X-Men movies. There he is playing a guy with a giant papier-mâché head. That is him in that head. And it is amazing how good he can be inside that head. You can't see his face, his eyes, anything. And he gives the most amazing performance. It's funny, it's sad. The movie is about this band. He is this eccentric musical genius, and this is his band. And I really enjoyed this movie quite a bit. And again, it is weird. He's wearing that head the whole movie. Don't expect to see a lot of Michael Fassbender. If you're going to see his face, you're not going to get your money's worth, but it's a really interesting movie.
Let's talk about a thriller that made your list, Blue Ruin. Why should we see this one?
Blue Ruin is fun because it's sort of an unfamiliar version of a very familiar genre, which is the revenge movie. An usual revenge movie, you know, it's usually a Liam Neeson type, tough as nails, totally unflappable. The guy who's getting revenge in Blue Ruin, kind of more of a Matt Singer type, you know, soft as freshly baked bread and just very flappable, extremely flappable. But that's what makes it so great is it is this guy who is in totally over his head. And it's like, what would somebody like us do in a situation like this? Which is screw up repeatedly over and over again. It's fascinating to watch.
Was this a film that the director funded with using Kickstarter?
It was actually, yeah. The director, this is one of those stories where the director, the guy by the name of Jeremy Saulnier, there you see him, put his house up, did everything, maxed out his credit cards, and he still needed more money. So he actually got $35,000 raised on Kickstarter. And I think it was a pretty good investment because it turned out to be a fabulous movie.
Just hearing that makes me want to see the movie even more.
Yeah, it's great.
Let's talk about Force Majeure. So this is a Swedish one, and we should just warn people there are subtitles for this one.
There are subtitles, but it is worth it. This one is fun because, you know, American movies mostly about, especially in this age of comic book adaptations, they're all about heroism, right? This movie is about cowardice. Something much more relatable for someone like me as well. But it's fun to see. It's about, here you see this avalanche. It's actually, this avalanche comes to the Swedish family while they're on vacation, and it seems terrifying, and the father runs away in panic instead of protecting his family. And everyone turns out to be fine, but the fact that he abandoned his wife and child, that doesn't play well, as you might expect. An excellent awkward date movie, I would say. If you're looking for an awkward conversation after the movie.
I like how they all relate to you.
Well, it's all about me.
All right, Matt Singer, thanks.